It is so loud on this block, but I just got out of my first dance class in 8 years. It's been a very long time since I've taken any type of class like that. I've been on a journey to healing my relationship with movement and my relationship with food, my relationship with my body in general for the last 2 years since I started seeing my nutritionist. And the food part was easier than the movement part for me. I still feel very hesitant to like move my body in public and in group settings, and I can definitely be very I don't know, I just don't feel like there's a lot of space for me in like active settings. I really don't like gym culture, like bro culture, and I feel like a lot of like active spaces are really like goal and skill focused and not just like for the joy of moving your bodies. I'm just looking to get my body moving and have some fun, and that has felt hard to find as an adult. I don't know how many of you guys actually know this about me, but I used to dance all the time as a kid, as a teenager. I was on a competitive dance team. I danced at a studio 5 days a week. I taught all the hip-hop classes at my studio. That was my first job in high school, was I was a hip-hop dance teacher, and I choreographed for our competitions, and it was like the most fun thing to me because dance combines movement and art in a way that is just fun to me, and I've always loved it so much. But once I stopped being able to take classes, once I moved to New York and became an adult, it just becomes so much harder to find spaces as an adult where you're allowed to just like have fucking fun moving your body. Wow. Yeah, I just had like the most incredible experience taking that class. I don't even know what to say. The studio is called Good Move. It's in Williamsburg, and I stumbled upon it very randomly this past week, literally 2 days ago. It just popped up on my Instagram feed, and I was like, that looks like exactly what I want. It feels so good to move my body and like be in a space that really encourages showing up where you're at rather than like pushing yourself for the sake of being at the same level everyone else in the class is at. Like, that's not necessary. All you have to do is show up as you are right now, do what you can, move your body, and like enjoy the choreography. And honestly, I was very impressed with myself because despite my stamina definitely not being what it wants, a bitch picks up choreography real fast. Still an entertainer at the end of the day, and my stamina will come back in time once this is like a regular part of my life again. But for now, I just got to keep coming back and having fun, and like I'm so excited to have found this place. It was like when it was called working out, all of my insecurities came up.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, well, let's not call it working out, because you're not trying to, I'm not trying to change anything about myself. I'm not trying to do any of that. And that phrase brings that out of me. Mm-hmm. We're just trying to move our bodies and have fun moving our bodies. So we started calling it recess, where it was just like in the middle of the day when I want to step away from my computer, go for a walk. That's recess. That's an hour that I need to take to just go move my body and have fun. And there was something about like describing it the same way that we do when we're kids that really resonated with me. Speaking of joyful movement and showing love to your body, today's video is sponsored by beducated. The most joyful movement of them all. Beducated is an online course platform with a lot of content about sex, dating, bodies, and how all of these things intersect. Obviously, I love consuming sex content in general, sex and body content. I'm very interested. I'm a fascinated girly, and the courses on beducated are really engaging, and I've been a huge fan of Beducated for quite some time. But I was thinking about this, and I've talked about this course before, but it's called Back to Your Body, and it's a course on Beducated all about what drags us out of our bodies during sex. And I just so appreciate that content like this exists. I mean, so many people struggle with sort of getting in their head a little bit, becoming too self-conscious, too like aware of themselves during sex. And anyways, I don't know if I've ever showed you guys actually like what the Beducated platform looks like once you're in a course. Let me just open up a random one. This one is called Sexual Confidence, Building Confidence and Addressing Shame Around Body Image and Performance. So when you're on the main page, this is what it looks like. And you can see it's broken up into a bunch of smaller sections, some of which are written, others are videos, and then there's some audio sections as well, depending on what course you're taking. And I think that the video addition to these courses is what really sets them aside and makes this super helpful. I think especially with the courses that are about like strip teases, lap dances, giving a blowjob, masturbation, seduction, cunnilingus, like the fact that all of these things have videos to go along with them to really show you. I mean, I think that's like just the easiest and most effective way to really get your answer, isn't it? And if you're interested, you can use code Maddie for 40% off the yearly pass. I'll have all the links down in the description down below. Thank you again to Beducated for sponsoring today's video and for making some of my favorite content on the internet. We've made it to the afternoon, party people. Today is like the most gorgeous day in New York that we've had yet. Spring is definitely here. Also, I'm filming this a week later, but I just had essentially the same day that you've just seen, but a week later. So I feel equipped to continue the storyline from here on. And you know what? I actually think it's a good thing because since it is a week later, I have now been to 3 good move dance classes and I have so many more thoughts. So let me tell you them. First of all, I just really can't emphasize enough what a relief it is to me that I have found this place. I mean, I've always had a challenging relationship with movement. I think from a young age, movement was associated with punishment to me. And I think it's funny because a lot of people had a very different relationship with dance. I think a lot of people that were like classically trained dancers in like very intense studios, they grew up having dance sort of worsen disordered behaviors, worsen toxic body image because there's like one specific very rigid ideal of what a dancer's body should look like. And I think I got really lucky because I grew up going to a dance studio that was just so rooted in like having fun over everything else. It was more rooted in dance for like the artistry of dance. And so I feel like I grew up having like such a peaceful relationship with dance, but a very tumultuous relationship with any other form of movement. I've thought about this a lot as an adult, but I almost wonder if a reason why dance was able to be so peaceful to me is because people wouldn't recognize it as a sport, which was so frustrating at the time that people would see dance as being like less intense or not serious enough to count as like a real sport. Girl things, boo. And that was so frustrating and like super sexist at the time. But now looking back on it is like, I wonder if that was almost a good thing because people don't recognize dance as like an intense physical sport. They also don't associate any of the like toxic gym culture shit with it. So, you know, when you run a mile as a fat kid, there's people going, oh my God, yay, look at you. Even though they're never gonna do that to the thin people running the mile, where you're like, God damn it, can I not just move for fun? Why the fuck are you looking at me and cheering me on? That's so fucking weird. Like, what are you guys doing? Which made movement so uncomfortable for me because I'm like, don't project your shit onto me. Like, I'm not moving to lose weight. I'm moving for fun. Just please let me move for fun. Holy shit, stop looking at me. But because people don't see dance as a sport, nobody was ever being like, yay, good for you. They saw dance as like an artistic thing, which everyone always knew I was the best at anyways. So if they saw me dancing, they were just like, oh, of course. And they see it more as like an artistic, creative thing than they do like a fitness thing, which was frustrating, but perhaps was also a saving grace. Anyways, it's harder to find dance classes as an adult, specifically dance classes that have the like kind of environment that I want, that mimics the environment that I was in as a kid, where it was just like dance for the fun of dance, for the love of dance, for the art of dance. I moved to New York 8 years ago, and you know, I just lost my outlet. I didn't have dance anymore. There just wasn't anywhere that I could go. I've been looking for studios for a while. I think especially over the last 2 years. I started seeing my nutritionist almost 2 years. It was like 2 years ago in August. And ever since I've been seeing her, I've been talking endlessly about how I am like desperately in search of a dance studio that is just, you know, focused on joy of movement and having fun in our bodies. I am like so uninterested in any like gym settings. Boo! I hate it. I want to be somewhere where I can just move my body and have fun. I'm not focused on skill, on being the best person in the room, on getting swole. I don't give a fuck. I'm there to have fun, and that's it. And I just don't like the intensity of normal gym and fitness class settings. It totally puts me off. I need something a lot more gentle and fun. That can be hard to find as an adult. Like, why the fuck do all fitness classes have to be so fucking intense? Keep going, push yourself. Like, I can't. That stresses me out. I don't know how that works for so many of you. It absolutely does not work for me. I like, just stop yelling at me. Being able to like move and groove to some music, sweat so much, but you're having so much fun you don't even realize you're sweating. That's the best to me. And I feel like so excited to have found a studio where I can lean into that and do that stuff again. And the first class that I went to at Good Move, I almost teared up at the end. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but at the end of the class, our instructor sat us down and just had us breathe through our bodies. And he was just speaking a bunch of like body affirmations, like, your body is so strong and so capable. Our bodies do so much for us. Like, any challenges that came up for you today, understand that this is a safe space for you. And like, you did it, you showed up. And I can't tell you how healing that was to hear words like that, as gentle as that was in a fitness class. It makes me go like, because it's so easy, right? It's so simple. But there's such a lack of it in fitness settings. And I know there's so many other people that feel the way that I do. If you've struggled with any type of disordered behaviors with eating, movement, your body in general, you probably feel very similarly that I do, which feels like crazy that there's not more options. So I'm going to my 4th dance class tonight and I'm feeling so excited. I've been telling literally everyone that I know about this place, texting all of my friends like, if you want to go, just let me know. If you want to join, just like say the word. But it does feel really profound to me to have a fitness instructor lead with such like gentle nature. And it does feel like moving for the joy of movement is something that's more commonly found in like children's recreational activities. Because when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, you're not on a fucking softball team to get swole. You're not doing soccer to be fucking the next Mia Hamm. Is Mia Hamm even like a relevant soccer reference anymore? I don't know. This is how little I know about sports. But when you're a kid, movement is fun, it's recess, it's community, it's getting out the house and enjoying the fucking weather. Like, it's not that serious. It's just fun. Moving for the joy of moving. And I just feel like the more I came into adulthood, the less that was a thing. And the more movement was always competitive. It was trying to build your body to look a certain way, beat the person next to you, push yourself to your absolute fucking limit, which I don't care about. I don't, and you're not gonna make me. I'm sorry, I just don't give a fuck. The objective for moving my body, for being active, is not to be the most skilled person in the room. It is not to be the most fit and thin person in the room. It is not anything in comparison to other people. It's not anything in the way of me trying to change myself. It is literally just me wanting to have fun and move my body because it makes my body feel good. And it's just been hard to be like that, honestly. I just don't think there are a lot of fitness spaces that feel compatible with that, at least not in the way I am. I understand that I'm like very sensitive, and this is a hard sort of topic for me in general, which I've talked about on the internet in bursts, but I definitely don't talk about it a lot because, to be honest, I don't feel like dealing with the response from people that are committed to misunderstanding people that struggle with body image and with movement and food and all of that. Like, I get that there are some people, these mystery people, that have never had to deal with any of that, and I'm so happy for you, but God, are you so committed to misunderstanding the people that have struggled with it. And so I don't talk about my struggles with food and movement, you know, in great detail, because I don't feel like listening to people's feedback on it, because so many people just don't fucking get it, and they care way more about upholding their fat phobic ideals than they do about understanding a fat person that has struggled with having a healthy relationship with food and movement. They don't care. They care about other things more than they do about like actually being a real human being with empathy, which is fine. That's their choice, right? I just don't want to engage with those people, so I don't talk about it. I hope they're not here. I hope they're not in the room with us right now. It's like the same type of people that think that they can look at someone and have a complete and full understanding of their health, or people that are committed to believing that fat people can't have eating disorders. That type of person that is just like so committed to their shitty beliefs that they don't care about like hearing actual people tell actual stories of their difficult relationships with food and movement, unless it's coming from someone in a body that they feel comfortable looking at. But someone that looks like me, yeah, no, they don't want to hear me talk about any of that. But anyways, I really do think that it is so important to create and foster spaces where movement can feel innocent and joyful and not so competitive and intense like so often fitness settings feel. Because yeah, that works for some people, but I think there's a lot of people that does not work for. And I just feel like we sort of get left out of the fitness world. And then people yell at us. Guys, oh my fucking God. I feel so good. I feel so fucking good. I'm riding such a high right now. It's kind of insane. When I was growing up, my favorite day of the week was Thursdays, because Thursdays were the day that I took my favorite dance classes. My favorite hip hop classes were on Thursday nights. And to this day, I really do feel like Thursday nights are the best time for a dance class, because you get so excited to go to your dance class Thursday night, you have the time of your life, dance the night away, you leave feeling so good, and then you go lay in your bed, and the next day is Friday, and like everyone does 50% of what they should do on a Friday. Just got back from my dance class tonight, which was so much fucking fun. And tonight we danced to Who's That Chick, a banger and a classic, David Guetta and Rihanna. The choreography was just so fun and sexy, and it made me feel good, and everyone there is so cool. I've been to 4 classes. Every single fucking person that I have seen in that studio is cool as fuck and so nice. And now I just feel like I'm gonna be listening to Who's That Chick all weekend. Because what else am I gonna listen to now? The 3 classes that I went to before were all the same instructor, who I love. And I went to a new instructor tonight to just see what their classes were like, how they're different, the same. Love this instructor as well. And at the very end of the class, they turned the lights out, so we were dancing completely in the dark, and it was just magic. The whole class was magic to me. Listen, it's hard. My stamina is obviously not what it used to be. I used to be able to do so much more when I was doing this all the time, and I was in a habit of going to dance class every single day for several years, obviously. When I started going, I was kind of worried that that was gonna be the part that tripped me up or made me feel sad or would stop me from going back, as if I got hung up on the fact that I can't do what I used to do. And to my surprise, that has been totally an afterthought in my brain. I really only noticed it the first time I went, but it was quickly sort of shooed away, because by the time we get through the warm-up into the choreography, I feel like I just watch myself come alive in a way where it's like 8 years have passed, but I can still pick up choreography so quickly, and I'm fucking sexy. Like, I just am. It might take a lot more out of me. I might be panting and sweating my fucking ass off, but I look amazing and I can pick it up, and I just feel like proud of myself. It was just like one of those things where I was like, I thought that it would bother me. I thought that I could have got inside my head and been like beating myself up for not having stamina the way that I used to. But instead I was just so impressed that it's been 8 years and I can still do the damn thing and look good doing it. With that, I'm gonna sit and kiss Mango 100 times and then, I don't know, watch a movie or something, be happy, masturbate, I don't know. Probably all of the above. See you guys in my next video, vlog, whenever I see ya. Podcast, follow me on Instagram. See you lots of places. Mwah, love you so much. Bye.